Something sacred has been activated in you, Taurus, and the universe is already watching you from above. Have you felt everything moving, but you don't know where to go? Why do certain dreams come back right now? What if it's not a coincidence? You are crossing an invisible portal where codes of power, frequency of abundance, and memories that your soul sealed before you were born are revealed. Dolores Cannon explained, "The soul remembers when it is ready." And before we dive even deeper into this sacred unveiling, if these words already resonate in your spirit, I invite you to pause and honor this moment. Subscribe to this channel and leave a comment with your truth. What part of this message has already touched your soul? Your voice is not just heard here, it is felt. What is about to manifest? It will change your destiny from the root. Don't intuit it, feel it. Have you ever felt an invisible crown descending onto your soul? Heavy, luminous, ancient. Can you feel it pressing on your chest, not as a burden, but as a sacred weight reminding you of who you were always meant to become? Taurus, something majestic is awakening within you, not through noise or spectacle, but in the silence that comes after you've cried enough, waited enough, and doubted enough. In that precise moment when your heart said, "I cannot go on," and yet you did. This chapter of your life is not a reward, it's a recognition. The universe isn't handing you gifts out of mercy, it's returning what was already yours by divine right. A powerful force has been tracking your growth from the shadows, and now it prepares your seat, not among the common, but on the throne you built with pain, patience, and perseverance. Because royalty is not born in palaces, it is forged in fire. You are not ascending now, you have already risen. This, what you're feeling, is simply the world catching up to the frequency of your worth. The cards whisper of a soul that learned to walk barefoot through broken dreams, of someone who stayed kind while the world was cruel. And the Empress appears, dressed not in jewels but in certainty. You are beauty resurrected. You are power in its most tender form. What you once called loneliness was gestation. What you mistook for loss was divine redirection. Now, as you stand before a season of golden doors, you'll no longer need to knock. They will open simply because you've returned to yourself. Do you feel the pull of luxury, not just material but spiritual? This is the kind of wealth that doesn't shout. It radiates, a prosperity that comes not from striving, but from alignment. Your aura speaks now, louder than your voice ever could. There are people watching you, Taurus, some in awe, some in disbelief. But none can deny that something in you has changed. You are not the same, and thank the stars for that. So let me ask you, when did you last look in the mirror and see royalty staring back? When did you last walk into a room and know, without a doubt, that you were the most powerful energy there? Because soon you won't even need to ask. I invite you now to breathe this truth into your spirit and anchor it into the universe. Write this decree in the comments below to seal this part of your journey. I rise not by chance, but by cosmic design. I am royalty in motion, and abundance follows my footsteps. Feel it, believe it. The universe is already responding. Your throne is not ahead of you, it is already beneath your feet. What if the success you've been waiting for was never truly outside of you? What if the delay you perceived was not punishment, but preparation? Taurus, you've been walking a sacred maze, and now you're approaching the center, not of life, but of yourself. There is a silence before greatness that only old souls recognize. You've been feeling it lately. That odd stillness, as if time paused just to hear your next decision. Don't rush it. That silence is a consecration. It means the universe is holding its breath with you. Beneath that stillness, there is a vibration beginning to move. Not chaotic, not urgent, but steady. It is the frequency of prosperity aligning with your current self-worth. The truth is, money, recognition, influence, they're all side effects of something deeper. What's truly arriving is a season where your internal value and your external life finally match. You won't have to chase, you'll attract. Have you noticed lately that certain things are flowing easier or breaking down faster? That's not inconsistency, that's alignment sorting your path. That which resists no longer belongs. That which arrives with grace is yours. A new rhythm is settling into your days, and it's not loud, it's sovereign. Taurus, prosperity is beginning to speak your language, in aligned partnerships, in financial surprises that feel divinely timed, in the simple peace of knowing you're no longer compromising your truth for survival. But don't mistake this shift for something ordinary. This is ancestral. You are breaking silent agreements with fear. You are rewriting old stories of lack whispered by family lines and past lifetimes. You are standing at the altar of your own destiny and saying yes. And so, the energy around you starts to take form. A letter that opens doors. A conversation that clarifies a long-held confusion. A mentor or connection that sees your brilliance without needing proof. You'll know them not by what they promise, but by how you feel in their presence. Safe, seen, invited. Not all gold shines, but you'll recognize the true kind by how deeply it honors you. Taurus, there's also a quieter miracle unfolding. Your body is beginning to heal. Your nervous system is unclenching. Your breath is deepening naturally. You are no longer fighting for space. You are becoming the space. This energetic maturity, this peace, is your magnetism. And that's why luxury begins to pour in now. Not as compensation, but as confirmation. Not because you begged, but because you remembered. You remembered that your worth was never on sale. So ask yourself, what am I now refusing to negotiate? What boundary became sacred without warning? What desire stopped being too much and became my new standard? This is how the soul reclaims its throne. One no, one yes. One prayer of integrity at a time. You are not chasing a dream, Taurus. You are returning to your original vibration where the dream was already complete. Do you feel the echo of your future calling back to you? That quiet, powerful yes in your bones. Let it rise, let it lead, because the next chapter doesn't require you to become someone new, only to allow who you already are to finally be seen. Have you ever noticed an echo from the past lingering in your decisions, Taurus? Perhaps an old belief about lack, a whisper that told you you weren't enough. What if that echo is dissolving now, softly, undeniably, making room for a louder truth? You are already whole. In this chapter, your soul is reclaiming memories it once abandoned, not to return to what happened, but to transmute it into forgiveness, sovereignty, and deep-rooted peace. Take a sacred breath, Taurus. If your heart feels seen in these revelations, let's anchor this together. Subscribe now and share in the comments how this energy is unfolding for you. Your insight may be the mirror someone else is waiting to recognize themselves. Ask yourself, what moment from your past still holds emotional rent in your body? What silent contract are you still upholding, even though it no longer serves you? Quietly, you are releasing those agreements. With each breath, the energetic veil lifts. What was once held in your chest, fear of not belonging, fear of not being enough, begins to unravel, and as those knots untie, a space opens inside you. A sacred altar emerges, where only one thing may enter, the truth of your worth. It comes as subtle signs. You catch yourself speaking differently, with more softness and certainty. You stand taller because your spirit no longer stoops. You choose silence over shame, presence over anxiety. This is the ascension of self-love, not the loud proclamation of affirmations, but the gentle insistence of boundaries. You're no longer buying approval, you are paying in truth. Where does this lead? To a magnetism that's palpable yet quiet, a dignity that hums your arrival before you even speak. You'll notice people leaning in, not because you called them, but because you stand, and they sense your axis. And prosperity, It becomes a conversation in your presence, a tilted head, a raised offer, a legendary whisper, she's back and we're here for it. But above all, the most profound luxury emerges now, time with yourself. Not aimless distraction, but devoted silence. Not the busying of thoughts, but the communion of soul. In that soft communion, you hear a question carried by the wind. What next, Queen of Earth? You're reminded, abundance isn't just accumulation, it's alchemy. It is the transmutation of your past wounds into your present power. Your throne isn't built on what you have, it's anchored in who you are. Reflection. Questions. Where are you choosing love over safety? What boundary felt scary before but feels natural now? How is your inner world reflecting in your outer choices? These questions are your compass. Your answers are the bricks of the throne you're sculpting, one soul-affirmed choice at a time. Can you feel a new alignment reverberating through your bones, Taurus? As July's warm currents blend with celestial rhythms, your inner world adjusts to an ancient cosmic cadence. Astrological Insight, July 2025. With the new moon in Cancer on July 5th and Venus in Leo from June 28th to July 23rd, your emotional roots and expressions of prosperity deepen. Loving yourself becomes the gateway to attracting richness. Your heart, like a royal garden, begins to bloom where it was once parched. This chapter is about integration, tying together mind, heart, and spirit in a harmonious tapestry. Ask yourself silently, which parts of me have been living in fragmentation, scattered across roles, masks, expectations? How might I welcome myself home today? You're now dissolving internal divisions where you once compartmentalized emotion or suppressed intuition. A river of inner coherence flows again. Your logical Taurus mind is learning to hold space for tenderness, while your receptive heart anchors back to reason. Notice how prosperity begins to resonate differently. Financial flow aligns with your soul's integrity. No more parting with your peace in exchange for currency. Relationships form around a shared vibration where presence, respect, and abundance dance together. You trust the timing of the universe, and it trusts your worth in return. Venus in Leo crowns you not just with wealth, but with the presence of royalty. Your aura announces what your words cannot yet claim. She is here. You walk into spaces and the energy changes. People accommodate, gates swing, notices land like gentle invitations. But this path is never just outward. True ascension always requires return inward. Look for moments of communion with yourself. A few deep breaths at sunrise, feeling the cusp of day and possibility. Quiet journaling under candlelight, listening to what your soul rewrites when your mind is silent. Gentle movement, yoga, dance, barefoot steps that remind your body of its sacred ground. These are not distractions, they are the foundation of your throne. Because every moment you return to yourself, you build resilience against illusions of lack. You teach yourself that fullness is an inside job. You signal to the cosmos that you won't be satisfied with less than the reflection of your wholeness. So ask again, what have I reclaimed today? How are the currents of this moon cycle guiding me toward deeper prosperity? What new permission am I giving myself in love, in luxury, in liberty? The throne you are ascending isn't for public applause, it's for your soul's sovereignty. With every integrated breath, every act of inner fidelity, you inch closer to that day when your throne is not just metaphorical, it will be undeniable. Can you sense it, Taurus? A crescendo gathering at the edge of your experience. A harvest of all you have sown in silence, devotion, and unwavering faith. This final chapter is the tangible fruition of your soul's coronation. You stand on the threshold where spirit meets manifestation. Ask yourself, what tangible blessing awaits your acceptance? Which dream is ripe enough to be born into form? As Venus moves into Virgo at the end of July, your elegance in details and grace in action align perfectly. This celestial shift softens lofty dreams into gentle reality, transforming visions into contracts, ideas into systems, potential into protocol. Notice how life begins to mirror your internal kingdom. Money arrives not sporadically, but in rhythm, through opportunities you didn't chase, but created with presence. Projects launch with potency, not from push, but from resonance. Connections deepen into affinity. People who once watched now stand beside you in co-creation. You are not acting out a role. You are embodying essence. Let the energy of this moment affirm that your throne is now visible, bit by beautiful bit. What looks like small steps are actually seismic shifts. What appears as soft blessings are profound confirmations of your soul's alignment. Now, place your hand over your heart and feel the truth of it. You are a magnet for miracles, not by chance, but as a testament to your devotion. You are crowned, not because you demanded it, but because you remembered it. In this sacred season, you will witness a project that reflects your purpose entering bloom. A financial gesture so timely it feels orchestrated, a soulful conversation that remaps your future. Each of these is a jewel in the crown you always carried. Ultimate decree, comment anchor. Speak, or rather feel, this final decree into the field of your destiny. I embody divine fruition. What is destined for me is now fully manifested. Share it below and anchor this coronation in collective energy. Know that as you declare it, the universe is already arranging your manifestations with reverence and precision. If this journey crowned your spirit with clarity and strength, don't let it fade into silence. Subscribe to stay aligned with future activations and leave your voice in the comments. Let your soul be witnessed. Your presence here isn't random. It's part of something far greater.